Ọlọ́run ọba ṣèkánmọ́kù, alágbára lórí ohun gbogbo, ọba tó lè ṣe ohun gbogbo, ọba jípọjọ́ kúdà. Ọlọ́run ọba tí ó mọ bẹ títí láéláé, ọba tí kìí kú, tí kìí tí, àìdíbàjẹ́, alásọtẹ́lẹ̀ ohun gbogbo. Olúwa, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ o. Ibi tá a bá dé lónìí, ọpẹ́ ni fún ọ. Torí pé ìwọ lọba àjíkẹ́, ọba àjíkẹ́, ọba afẹ́nifẹ́re, ọba àdúrà pé agbẹnimọ́dẹ̀yìn, afúnimọ́ṣèrègún, ọba lọ́gọ́lọ́lá ní ìlẹ́yẹ, ọ̀gbàgbà tí gbára àdúgbò, abọ́ ọgbọ̀gbọ̀ tí fi yọ mẹ́rin náà fìn. Ìbà rẹ o. Ìbà dáńgbọ́ngbọ́n bàbá kókó, èrò àkàtàpà wà bá a lóṣùn. Aṣọ mẹ́rìnlógún báyìí lásọ ṣàpọ̀nà, ọ̀kan ni yémiyémi gbé kín, ọgọgọ rúmọrúmọ, apanimọ̀hágún olókìkí òru. Ìbà lọ́wọ́ yín àti dìmújẹ èèyàn, ẹ̀yin lájẹrun òru, ajẹ̀dọ̀ èèyàn mọ̀bì. Ìbà àtòrò òró jẹ̀ fún ọ̀gálantá. Ìbà yín o. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí tọwọ́ bọ́, ẹ má jẹ́ kí ti ẹsẹ̀ ó gbọ̀n dànù, ẹ sì má jẹ́ kí tilẹ̀ ó pọ̀ ju tẹnu lọ. Ìbà yín o. Láàlú ògiri òkò ó dọwọ́ rẹ, ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ ó dọwọ́ rẹ o. Mọ̀jà àṣẹ ọ̀tẹ̀, mọ̀jà tójú ilẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀, ẹ̀gún ayé mọ̀jà ogun ẹlẹ́sẹ̀, aṣọ àwọn àgbàlagbà mọ̀jà tẹ̀, aṣọ ọ̀kà ènìyàn mọ̀jà tẹ̀. Ẹni tá a wà ṣẹ̀ tá a bẹ̀ tí ò ní gbà Elédùmarè ó dọwọ́ rẹ lónìí. Mọ̀jà bárù wọn tó. Àwọn ènìyàn mi, mo tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí sínú ayé wọn, mọ̀jà kí wọ́n tàràkà kí wọ́n tó máa rí jẹ. Bá ń ṣe owó rírí nírọ̀rùn fáwọn èèyàn mi, àwọn tí tán jẹ́ alátẹ̀lé mi, tí wọ́n gbà fún mi lórí ètò mi. Bá ń ṣe owó rírí ṣe nírọ̀rùn fún wọn lọ́jọ́ òní. Jẹ́ kí wọ́n níṣẹ́gun lórí gbogbo ogun ayé wọn. Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè wá gbà fún mi náà, jẹ́ kí èmi náà ò níṣẹ́gun lórí ogun ayé mi. So owó rírí nírọ̀rùn fún mi náà. Ọlọ́run ọba, má jẹ́ kára ó ní mí, má jẹ́ kára ó ní àwọn olólùfẹ́ mi náà. Bí ó ti rí nù, àṣẹ ń tẹ̀dùmọ̀rè. Ní àná, lára àwọn èèyàn wa, wọ́n fi kíní ìṣọwọ́ sí mi. Wọ́n fi ṣọwọ́ sí mi lánàá. Tó ọpẹ́ ni fún ẹni tó wà sùsùsùsù, tó fún wa ní iPhone, tó ní káwa náà máa fi mí lórí bó ṣe wà yìí. The first time tí màá ní iPhone rírè, wọ́n send ẹ̀ sí mi lánàá. Wọ́n dẹ̀ pé iPhone 13 àbí nǹkan náà pé 13 Pro tó fún mi lánàá rè. Ẹni tó fún mi, iná ò ní tán wo yín o, àṣírí yín ò ní tú. Ẹ ní rí ń gbé sọnù bí ò ṣe bí ọmọ. Àǹtí mi dáadáa láti Egypt, mo ṣe ẹ ṣé, mo dúpẹ́ o. Ẹ ṣé gan, mo dúpẹ́ gidi gan, mo mọ̀ lóore, mo mọ̀ lóore. Inú mi dùn lánàá nígbà tẹ́ pè mí pé ẹ̀rọ èèyàn kan sí mi, mi ò mọ̀ ń tẹ́lẹ̀ náà mú bọ̀. Ẹ̀gbà tán fi lé mi lọ́wọ́. Tó ọpẹ́ ni fọ́lọ́run, mo dúpẹ́ o, mo mọ̀ lóore o. Ilé tó jẹ́ àtẹ̀lé rẹ̀ ni ètò tá a mú wá lórí ọ̀rọ̀ bílù ṣe rí, bílẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe rí, ìdàgbàsókè bá ṣe gba ìdáhùndè. Mo ṣe fídíò kan lánàá, àwọn èèyàn pè mí pé kí wá lọ́nà àbáyọ, kí lọ́nà àbáyọ. Mo ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ wà, ẹ ṣáà fọkàn yín balẹ̀, ẹ má wúre fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àbọ̀ ń bẹ̀. Àwọn ogun kan wà tó yí wa káàkiri. Àwọn tá a múlégbè wọn ò gbà tiwa, àwọn tá àwa náà ò gbà tiwọn. Bó ṣe rí káàkiri nu, bó ṣe rí káàkiri nu. Òyìnbó tó dẹ̀ dà wá papọ̀, àwọn ní mission tán fi dà wá pọ̀. Wọn ò fẹ́ ká ṣèyọrí ó wà náà fi dà gbogbo papọ̀. Táwùsá bá ṣèjọba, Yorùbá ò mọ̀ bú wọn pé àwọn ni wọ́n bà nǹkan jẹ́. Bí Yorùbá bá ṣèjọba, Haúsá ò mọ̀ bú wọn bí wọ́n tẹ̀ jẹ́ kí Yorùbá oríjọba ṣe. Nítorí blame game, èdè wa ò yéra wa, àmọ́ra wa, culture wa ò jọra wọn. Gbogbo nǹkan pátá là fi jọra wa níbi kankan. Ẹ bá fi Ìgbò lẹ̀, ṣẹ́jí kí wọ́n ṣèjọba wọn, wọ́n ti fẹ́ ṣe. Tí wọ́n lọ máa dáṣẹ́ lu wọn ká wá wò bí wọ́n ti ibi tí wọ́n ṣe dé bóyá wọn àbá ti lẹ́sìn ìbá jẹ́ káwọn Haúsá náà lọ ṣe ká má dúró de pé àwọn náà fẹ́ máa yan ìlú kan jẹ kí wọ́n tó survive bóyá àwọn náà bá ti lẹ́sìn ibi tí wọ́n ti dé dàgbàsókè ẹ jẹ́ kí Yorùbá ó dá dúró ọpọlọ wa tán ní òpè orí wa tán ní òpè ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ lò fúnra wa káwọn òbí tá a bá dé bọ́ jí gbogbo tẹ́ àdálù púpọ̀ mọ́ sàpà tán ṣe fún wa yìí kò já dọ́lẹ̀mọ̀ nínú wa kò já dọ́mọ ọlẹ́mọ̀ tẹ́nìkan bá ṣe lọ sáá yóò bá jẹ́ àti ìrí ìjọba tó wá lórílẹ̀‐èdè tó ṣe dáadáa rí nǹkan tá à ń sọ tí gbogbo yẹn tí tani amóríwá ká fọ ọ̀hún lẹ́nìyẹn àárín ìjọba tó ṣe dáadáa rí ẹ tọ́ka sí kan pé eléyìí ó ṣe dáadáa kò sí wọ́n dé ni wọ́n mọ titrate chemical wọ́n mọ titrate economy ìgbà tán titrate chemical èmi ò rí irú ẹ̀jọ́ tí mo ti rìn ilé ayé kéèyàn mọ́ lè lo common sense láti fi solve problem gbogbo nǹkan wọn ni ó le tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì bá dé ó le gan kí ni ń le nínú ìjọba ṣé pé níta bá nílà jẹ àwọn tí ó wà ní resources ń kọ́ gbogbo olú tó wà nínú ayé ṣé gbogbo olú tó wà nínú ayé ló ní resources tó Nàìjíríà why tí wọ́n wá táyé wọn rọrùn ju títà wá tá ní resources lọ lẹ́fì mọ̀ pé ọlẹ́ ọkàn ní ń dá àwọn tá yàn sí kò láàmú ọlẹ́ ọkàn wọ́n ba owó yẹn bìtìbìtì wọn ò fi kí ni fẹ́ fa owó yìí ti pọ̀ ju níṣòro kan wà nínú faraàlú wọ́n prefer kí wọ́n kó owó yẹn sápò ara wọn nìkan bí a ti ní problem nìyẹn nǹkan ṣe orílẹ̀-èdè yìí àwa tá a rí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ò lè dá tí màá mú analysis kan wá lè nìyí tí kò yé ẹ̀yin èèyàn mo fẹ́ kí àwọn Yorùbá wa àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ lọ tẹ́tí bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ìyí tí ń pa Yorùbá kú ni pé àṣetán àti lẹ́yìn àṣetán àti gbìyànjú kí nǹkan ó lè dáa a kàn fẹ́ràn owó kásátì ẹ̀rọ owó kárówó àwọn ètò orí ayé ò rí lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí kò bá rówó lónìí táwọn ọmọ àrọ́mọdọ́mọ rẹ̀ ò bá rí gọ́ gbogbo tẹ́tí bàbá Abíọ́lá tí Tinubu kọjọ rẹpẹtẹ tí tó pọ̀ tí ń wò lójú rẹ̀ pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ yìí ìran rẹ̀ kẹta lè má dé bá ìran rẹ̀ kẹrin wọ́n lè má bá ìran kẹta ti bá ìran kẹrin lè má bá wọ́n lè má bá bọ́n torí pé ètò ayé ò yí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn kì í ṣe téèyàn máa ṣe lẹ́nìyẹn irun táwọn Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe sílẹ̀ sí ti wáyé fún pariwo Awólọ́wọ̀ orúkọ Awólọ́wọ̀ tí kù lẹ́nu Yorùbá nítorí pé àti ìrẹ́lùmí tó bí ti rẹ́kọ̀dù Awólọ́wọ̀ nínú ọ̀nà Yorùbá àrọ́mọdọ́mọ Awólọ́wọ̀ ń bọ̀ wá jẹ́ níjọ́ tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ́ nígbà ní àwọn sógun owó ni wọ́n ò dé sógun owó tí baba ńlá wọn ti ṣe ilẹ̀ náà ń bọ̀ wá jẹ́ wọ́n ń bọ̀ they are coming and it's going to happen sí Awólọ́wọ̀ wọ́n jẹ́ àsìkò tí fẹ́ tó ẹ̀yin ò wá rọ ọ̀la ẹ̀rọ ọjọ́ kẹrin ìrìn àjò ayé yín pé kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́yìn bá ti kú bẹ́ẹ̀ tán ìran kẹrin kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn ẹ ti gbàgbé ó lè jẹ́ géèmù làwọn ọmọ yóò fi gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ kó jọ ni wọ́n fi ta wọ́n fi play géèmù yóò bá tán lójijì tí wọ́n fẹ́ tọ́ ní ayé lára sí láti kó jọ torí ẹ̀ ni téèyàn bá mọ inú rò lé ayé tọ́lọ́run fún ní ẹ̀bùn àti lè rórí ìwọ̀nba wọ́n á mọ̀ pé kéèyàn ṣe dáadáa kéèyàn lákòóyàwó ló dáa jù kí ṣe ká máa forí ọ̀tún gbá tòsì káfíntọ̀ sí gbá tọ̀tún nìyẹn ń lólé ayé tí wọn náà ò ní nísẹ́mi ẹ tọwọ́ bọ ayé tán ẹ wà máa wẹ̀yìn lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́wàá pẹ̀sẹ̀ntì ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn mi ò ní làmì ń gí lórí ìwà ni wọ́n ní ọmọ ní mọ́mọ́ sòkì gbẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí arákùnrin yìí sọ mo fẹ́ kí ẹ gbọ́ analysis ẹ̀ lórí kí ni ìbágbépọ̀ wa kí ló fún yín ní assurance pé Nàìjíríà ó dáa assurance pé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí máa dáa òun ni mo fẹ́ mú wá fún yín lẹ́nìí tẹ́yìn believe ẹ̀yin tẹ́yìn believe pé Nàìjíríà ó dáa mo fẹ́ fún yín l'assurance pé ìrìn àjò ìlú yìí kò nítumọ̀ kò ní ọjọ́ ọ̀la rere ẹgbọ́n tí brother yìí sọ.
At this point in time, there is a need for us to ask ourselves, who are the benefactors of one Nigeria? Who are the people that are benefiting from one Nigeria? Is Nigeria truly one? The most stupid thing I've come to understand over time is the fact that whenever somebody come up to talk about a need to divide Nigeria, a lot of fools think that it is a bad idea. We see it as a bad thing. We see it as a criminal offense for somebody to say Nigeria is supposed to be divided. Meanwhile, Nigeria is not united. From 1914 up till date, when Nigeria was amalgamated till this point, if you take a look at a critical aspect of our society, you will realize that the Northerners have been migrating to the South in uncountable number, the same way the Southerners have been migrating to the North. And this migration has been very, very active. But yet, if you talk about Northern Nigeria, it is easy for you to know the people of Northern Nigeria and segregate them. If you talk about Southern Nigeria, it is easy for you to segregate them. Why? Because there was no intermarital affairs between these people. And what has been preventing the intermarital affairs? Igbo cannot marry Hausa. Hausa cannot marry Igbo. Yoruba cannot marry Hausa. Hausa cannot marry Yoruba. Because of what? Religious and cultural differences. And sometimes we compare ourselves to US, to different countries of the world, to China. If you go to China, there is nothing like somebody from North China cannot marry somebody from South China. Everybody in China, once they meet themselves, they find love within themselves, they get married to themselves. The same thing with America. There's nothing like there is a part of America that not marry the other part of America. But in Nigeria, if we have been intermarrying within ourselves since the amalgamation of Nigeria till this point, it would have been very, very, very difficult for you to talk about one ethnic group successfully, because we would have had over 11 million people whose father are Igbo and their mothers are Hausa, and over 20 million people whose father are Hausa and their mothers are Igbo. The same thing with Yoruba. And that intermarital relationship would have deleted everything that has to do with tribalism and nepotism among us. But it is not possible. So you will see that the amalgamation of Nigeria was done in a very clinical manner that keep us segregated, so that there will be, just like mixing a cup of oil with a cup of water, knowing fully well that they will not mix together, so that we can easily be exploited. And whenever you talk about one Nigeria, who are the people that are benefiting from it? A very few elites, who are the stakeholders of the British business that has been invented. So why is it possible for new countries to be formed in Europe? If you go to Europe from the year 2000 to 2026, as we speak, almost 30 countries have been formed. New countries, without agitation, without war, without fight. So why is it easy for new countries to be formed in other places around the globe? Kosovo, Serbia, Slovakia, Montenegro, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, different countries. New countries have been formed peacefully. But if it comes down to our own place here, to form a new country is a big deal. Why? Mind you, if you go to Europe, you will realize that Lagos is bigger than countries like Greece, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland, Belgium, different countries of Europe, Lagos alone. And I bet you that all the states in Nigeria, including the smallest states, Ebonyi State and Bayelsa and wherever, Nasarawa State, are far bigger than many countries of the world. So I ask you, why is it a crime? Why is it a sin to talk about a new country in Nigeria, in Africa, without conflict? Why can't we divide without fighting, without conflict? And who is behind these conflicts that we experience whenever we talk about division? Nigeria is a blessed country. And virtually every region, every part of this country have abundance of mineral resources that they can rely upon. So if we are talking about the division of Nigeria, we are not even supposed to be talking about dividing into 2 or 3 or 4. And the most idiotic thing that has happened in Nigeria is to talk about the 3 major ethnic groups. There is no need for us to talk about any ethnic group as being the major ethnic group. Because if you have a 3 major ethnic group, where Hausa is the biggest, Yoruba and Igbo, then how will you now talk about the other ethnic groups? So Igbo is comfortable that they are number 3, Yoruba is comfortable that they are number 2, Hausa is comfortable that they are number 1. How about the people that are number 20, number 30, number 40? We are not supposed to have the same country by nature. Because if you talk about agriculture, for instance, why the southern part of Nigeria is planning their farming system in such a manner that excessive rainfall should be controlled in their farm, the northern part of Nigeria is planning their agricultural system in such a manner that excessive drought should be controlled through irrigation. So if you are making your ridges in the north to conserve water around your plant roots in the north, somebody in the south is making their ridges in such a manner that will overflow excess water from the plant root. But yet, we are studying the same curriculum. We are studying the same agriculture. We are using the same textbooks. But the environmental dispensation of these 2 regions are completely different. And the cultural practices that could work in the northern part of Nigeria cannot work in the southern part of Nigeria. If you go to the north, a typical northern child will have to learn Arabic language through the Quran, learn Hausa language, and learn English language. Just one child. Just one child learning 3 languages. Tell me why they won't become an alimajiri or idiots. Tell me how they can be able to function effectively when a child is being bugged with 3 different complex languages with complex lexicons being comprehended by one single child. Nobody thinks about the impact of such confusion. You are putting a little child, they must study Arabic to learn the Quran. They read from the left to the right to know the Quran. Then they read from the right to the left to know chemistry and mathematics. Tell me how it can work. And if you look at the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the lawmakers, take a look at the complexity of grammar they are speaking there. Take a look at the English they are speaking on the floor of our Senate. For a country where over 70% of the citizens are illiterate. So, if you are making laws for your citizens and you are making such laws in language they don't understand, how can somebody obey a law they don't understand, the law they cannot interpret? And you are talking about one Nigeria. Nigeria is due for segregation. It's due for division. Anybody that tells you anything otherwise is just fooling you. And there is abundance of mineral resources in every region of this country to sustain itself. I won't lie to you. There is no revolution that can change the status of this country. There is no protest. There is no, whether peaceful or violent, that can turn Nigeria into a good country. The only way Nigeria can get better is to divide peacefully. Let us have a national confab, sit on a round table, know how many countries Nigeria can be divided to peacefully, considering the ethnic and socio-cultural diversities of these people, and know how we can segregate them into peaceful nation. Even if it takes one local government to become a country of their own, let us have it. And if we can have international relationship like the European Union or any union you want to call it at the central level, where one passport of one of the segregated country can be functional in all other parts of the country, let us have it. But as I speak with you, there is nothing that can solve the problem of this country except division. Peaceful division from a round table, and let each region go back to their home, secure their people, secure their mineral resources, mine it, exploit it in the best interest of their people. Because the people that amalgamated Nigeria does not consider the difficulties and diversity of this country and how it will affect our existence. I bet you nobody can, even if you merge Atiku, Obi, Tinubu, Amechi, and all of them together, they cannot solve the problem of this country. Merge them into one president, they cannot solve the problem of this country. Because one region is our turn, the other region is our turn. Nobody check the credibility. Nobody check, oh, they are appointing only Yoruba, they are appointing only Hausa. But there won't be such if it is only Yoruba that are having their own state. So, I bet you it is important for us to sit on a round table and question ourselves again. Who are the benefactors of one Nigeria? Is it the British that amalgamated us without considering the ethnic diversity, the religious and socio-cultural diversity? Or is it the present leaders, the elites, or the citizens of this country? What is the benefit of one Nigeria to a common citizen of Nigeria? That is a low average life citizen of Nigeria. What is the benefit? What does a person benefit from holding a Nigerian passport? What does a person benefit from being a Nigerian citizen? The comment section is open. Tell me just one thing that somebody benefit from this country, Nigeria. And if there is nothing, then they should.
Ṣé Nigeria analysis máa yìí ṣe rí abẹ́rí? Kò ní ìdájátáré, kò ní ìdíkà madam gbogbo tí ń jẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ wa pátá lọ́bọ̀ Spain nínú analysis yẹn. Ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́ bó ti sọ. Kẹ́lẹ́ máa pa àwọn èèyàn pọ̀ lábẹ́ ọ̀run tí ń jókòó tí ń rorí. Àwọn èèyàn náà ń rí. Kì í ṣe Yorùbá nìkan ní ń rí. Tápà ń rí. Ará Benue ń rí. Ará Niger ń rí. Ará Maiduguri ń rí. Everybody ní ń rí wípé kíní yìí problem ni. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọ̀jẹ̀lú nínú wa, àwọn ló yẹ ká kógun tì torí àwọn ni ò fẹ́ kí ìtẹ̀síwájú wà fún àwọn ará orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Torí pé àwọn ti rí pé set up company ni fáwọn láti máa jẹ. Ẹ wá prepare, ẹ wá tí àwọn tí ń jẹun wọ́n wá ń prepare àwọn ọmọ wọn sínú system yẹn so that wọ́n lè máa rí kíní yẹn jẹ lọ. Nítorí la fẹ́ bá yàrá já níbẹ̀. Níbo la fẹ́ bá yàrá já níbẹ̀. Nǹkan tá à ń try láti gbéra wá gbogbo ìgbà nìyẹn. Culture Igbo ó yàtọ̀ sí culture Yorùbá. Culture Yorùbá ó yàtọ̀ sí Hausa àti Fúlàní. Nàìjíríà dẹ̀ ń dàgbà sí lójoojúmọ́. Ẹ wá ní èdè wa ò yẹra wa níjọ́ kan níjọ́ wo. Ta ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yín pé ìlú yìí ó tòrò lọ́la? Níbi tá a bá dé, ta ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yín pé ìlú yìí máa tòrò lọ́la? Ta lẹni náà tó fún yín lámìdánilójú pé ìlú yìí ó tòrò lọ́la? Ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́ analysis máa yẹn. Mo kàn fẹ́ kí ẹ̀yin yẹn wa kẹ́ máa prepare mind yín ṣe àwa àti Igbo àti Hausa ṣàjọra wa. Ẹ wo Amalgamation 1914, ẹ wo tó sọ ayé àwa èèyàn kan dà. a ní luck láti wà lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí, kò sí luck. I'm telling you, Amalgamation 1914 tá a bá fọ́ wàláì Nàìjíríà continue láti máa dààmú ni. Àwọn tẹ̀dẹ̀ ń wòye gbogbo Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu mọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n torí ìfẹ́ inú tiwọn ẹ wá kí àwa sínú de, ẹ wá fún wa ní ìrètí tí ò ní wáyé láéláé, ẹ wá fún wa ní ìrètí irọ́ nínú òpùrọ́ irọ́ tẹ̀mọ̀ pé ò lè wáyé láyé, ò lè ṣẹlẹ̀, ẹ wá fún wa, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe wúrúwàrà kẹ́yìn ó ṣe kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́ ká continue ká mọ́ tó pariwo. Gbogbo àwa rí àwọn kan orí nínú wa, àwa ti rí tiwa, àwa rí ẹ̀yin náà dẹ̀ mọ̀, wọ́n léèyàn méjì pàdánù rọ́, tẹni tán parọ́ fún ọba mọ̀, ẹni tí ń parọ́ lọ́kàn ara rẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òpùrọ́ ni mí, lọ́kàn yín ẹ mọ̀ pé ń parọ́ fún wa ni. tó ọpẹ́ ní fọlọ́run ọba tó jẹ́ kárí tó ní ṣe. A máa fi àdàgbàrọ̀ ètò yìí rọ̀ síbi tá a bá délé ní títí tá a fi mọ mákọ̀tún ètò mi wà lórí kan nìyí. Èmi ti yín tòótọ́, bàbá àṣà.